Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I want to share with you guys Nature's Ozempic. I've been using Nature's Ozempic for a while and I really love my results, so I want to share it with you guys today. For those of you that are new here, my name is Queen B, that's VII. Press the red subscribe button and become a honeybee today for free. Give mama a big fat like, and without further ado, let's get right into this video. So today I can say that I love the way that my body looks. I have not been able to say that literally my whole life. I actually have a body that gains weight easily and is an apple-shaped body, so it's not really the ideal body type, hourglass or pear-shaped body that most women desire. And I also have a body that gains weight very easily. And the shape that my body is today is literally my favorite shape that my body has ever been in. I am 34 years old and my body looks 10 times better than when I was 24 years old. And I use everything that I'm going to be talking to you guys about today. I love how my body looks in a bikini. I love that I can sit down and I don't have rolls coming out. That's a first for me, even after having 2 kids. And you guys know that I've been extremely open about my fitness journey, about my journey to hourglass figure, but what inspired this video specifically to share my version of Nature's Ozempic is a couple of ladies that I have seen on YouTube share their experience with Ozempic and share how horrible some of the side effects were, even to the point that they wanted to unsubscribe from life. And that really hit home for me because I am somebody that suffers from PTSD and anxiety, and I've been through a lot of things that maybe I'll share with you guys one day. So as they were listing the things that they did like about Ozempic, or should I say semaglutide, which is the active ingredient in Ozempic, and all the other medications like it, I did notice that the benefits that they were listing were benefits that I was already enjoying without having to use that drug. So I was like, I really feel like I should make a video to help people that want to use that drug for weight loss, that are interested in using that drug for weight loss, not for people that are using it for their disease, their diabetes. Like, that's completely different. I'm talking about the effects that semaglutide has in weight loss. Basically what I want to do is list off the benefits of Ozempic, and then I'm going to show you guys how you can get benefits like that the natural way. So the first benefit that I saw was increased GLP-1. What that does is that it mimics a hormone in the brain that is produced when we eat that makes you feel full longer and suppresses your appetite. So to increase your GLP-1 naturally, I would recommend the yerba mate tea. They have done some studies with this tea and found it does increase their GLP-1 and it helps them stay full longer, gives them energy, and suppress their appetite. When you hear about, a nice hot warm tea, it does sound like a good idea to take it before bed, but this one has caffeine in it, so it's not something that you should take before bed. It is recommended that the last portion of caffeine that you have is at least 5 hours before you go to bed. So yerba mate tea might be a tea that you might want to take in the morning or in the early afternoon to be sure that you're able to sleep at night. This is the yerba mate tea that I use, and I found it on Amazon. I actually heard of this tea from one of my favorite influencers. I think her name is Amy Macedo, and she saw positive results in herself for her weight loss journey. The next benefit that I noticed was balanced blood sugars. And the first thing that I do to keep my sugar balanced is fast for 16 hours. And even though 16 hours might seem like a long time, it's actually not. Say you have your last meal at like 9 o'clock at night, then you'll be fasting all the way until 1 p.m. the next day. And 16 hours of fasting is proven to balance out your blood sugars. Of course, I'm not a doctor, you guys. I am a personal fitness trainer, so always consult with your doctor if you have any questions, any doubts. Be sure that you're doing your research on things. Now, fasting isn't going to balance out the blood sugars the way that semaglutide is. Semaglutide balances out your blood sugars by making your pancreas increase the production of insulin. And when somebody develops diabetes in their lifetime, it's because they have spiked up their insulin so many times throughout their lifetime from eating processed foods, junk food, bad food, maltodextrin, monosodium glutamate, MSG found in fast foods and junk food and food in a box. You'll see even protein shakes have maltodextrin in it. Maltodextrin is a filler that spikes up your insulin like crazy. So when you're spiking up your insulin like crazy all the time, your cells get tolerant to the amount of insulin that's running around in your body. So then your body has to make more and more and more insulin. Eventually people develop diabetes because the cells are so resistant to the insulin that they don't have have enough insulin running around to balance out the blood sugars naturally. So then they use medicines like semaglutide that can help them make more and more insulin to balance out the blood sugars, or just an external source of insulin to help balance out the blood sugars. We can become more sensitive to insulin again by doing things like fasting, and doing the 16-hour fast helps the body become more sensitive to insulin. Eating the proper foods can make you more sensitive to insulin again. Exercising makes you more sensitive to insulin. So even though it's a longer process, you don't get the results as quickly with nature's Ozempic than you do with the real Ozempic or the real semaglutide. It is more worth it in the long run, because becoming more sensitive to insulin is better than depending on massive amounts of insulin and then from an external source. Otherwise, you would unsubscribe from life because you don't have the right amount of insulin, because you never trained your body to be sensitive to insulin again. This is something that I would highly recommend you guys do research on, because it is so crazy how people say they can't lose weight and they're not realizing that they have a huge insensitivity to insulin. To fix that is a bit of a process, but it's absolutely worth it. Something else that can balance out your blood sugars is taking 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar in a glass of water before your meal. That can drop your blood sugar spike up to 30%. I got that little piece of information from someone that was consistently monitoring their blood sugar spikes with a CGM machine. They found that taking a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar in a glass of water before their meal dropped their sugar spike down to up to 30%, which is incredible. Also, going out on walks balances out your blood sugars. Just 30 minutes of walking will burn the excess sugars that are running around in your bloodstream. I do 10 to 15,000 steps a day. I do 10,000 steps on the days that I do weightlifting, and then 15,000 steps on the days that I just do walking or cardio. Before, I was just exercising like crazy, but I didn't realize how much I was not walking the rest of the day. I personally like to use a pedometer that I got just for like $18 on Amazon, because they're a little bit more accurate than an app. Since we're always moving around our phones, that makes it a little bit more inaccurate. But yeah, counting your steps every day doesn't just help you balance out your blood sugars, but it can also help you lose weight, because when we walk and we're in that stage 2 cardio, our body uses fat as a fuel source instead of using the glycogen in the muscles. When you do something super hard like running or HIIT training. I recently just stopped doing a lot of HIIT training and started walking more instead, to use my body fat as a fuel source instead of the glycogen in my muscles, because I felt like I was burning through my muscle resources, and every time I was trying to build that dump truck at the gym, I was wasting it away when I was doing HIIT training or doing things like running and jumping, and those things are really hard on the body. So now I do mostly walking for my cardio days, 15,000 steps, and then I work out my legs 3 days a week and upper body once a week. The next benefit I saw was a reduction in food noise, appetite suppressant. It doesn't make you feel as hungry, and it slows digestion. And there's natural things that we can do to slow digestion and to suppress appetite. When I'm doing my 16-hour fast to balance out my blood sugars, I always have a half a cup of black coffee with a packet and a half of stevia and some cinnamon. That doesn't have any calories, so it doesn't break the fast. Anything with calories, including like a multivitamin gummy, that has calories, so that will break your fast. You want things that won't break your fast. Black coffee, cinnamon, stevia, tea will not break your fast. Coffee is an appetite suppressant, so whenever I'm sipping on it throughout my 16-hour fast, I notice that I'm not like uncomfortably hungry and craving things. Exercise is also a natural appetite suppressant. It does help balance out the hormones in the body, so I believe that that's how it helps you suppress your appetite a little bit, because the hormones are now balanced when you exercise. Another thing that helps you suppress your appetite is fiber. When I was taking my nutrition class in college, when I was studying sports medicine and fitness technology, my coach was talking about how you can have a slice of pizza, you can have mashed potatoes, you can have some pasta, but you always need to have a side of vegetables, beans, or salad next to that, like a nice full serving of beans, salad, or vegetables with your starch. A lot of people want to eat bread, rice, and pasta, and they want to forget all about the vegetables because they don't like the flavor. But the reason why we cannot do that and we have to eat our vegetables or beans, something with fiber, is because it slows down our digestion, so it keeps us full longer. When we're eating carbs and we skip the veggies, we skip the salad, we skip the beans, then our food goes right through us, and that spikes up our blood sugars, and then the body creates a ton of insulin to try and bring down the blood sugar, and then it drops it too low because of all that insulin in the body, and now you get hungry again really quickly because the body's blood sugars are now low from that insulin spike, and you're hungry again because the body's trying to bring up the blood sugar, and then it's just this vicious cycle. You have to eat your beans, vegetables, and salad with your carb because the fiber helps slow down digestion, which helps you keep you full longer. Semaglutide slows down the digestion so the food stays in your system longer, but that's what fiber does naturally, guys. You have to have fiber with your food. You cannot skip the fiber. Also, getting enough sleep is crucial for controlling your hunger and your appetite. The gentleman that was monitoring his blood sugar with the CGM, he noticed his blood sugars would spike 10, 15, 20 points because he wasn't sleeping enough. So sleeping is also going to help balance out your blood sugars, which at the end of the day is going to help you lose weight. And remember that 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar that I mentioned to take in a glass of water before your meal. That contains acetic acid that helps slow down the digestion as well. The last 2 benefits that I saw was that it improves blood pressure and it improves the cholesterol. Now, my husband, he was obese when I first started dating him. And when he first became a trucker, he had to take his little exam, a little health exam that they do every year or every 2 years, and if you have high blood pressure, then you only get a 1-year pass. But if you have good blood pressure, then you get 2 years pass, and you don't have to do the exam for another couple years. So the first time, you guessed it, he had high blood pressure, he was obese, and he started being physically active at his job as a trucker because he delivers things locally, really heavy boxes and stuff. But as soon as he lost about 40 pounds, his blood sugar went to normal, so now he can enjoy a life of healthy blood pressure. He says he doesn't feel that pounding in his head anymore, and it's because he started fasting, he started eating healthy, he started being physically active, and now he can enjoy the benefits. So of course, I'm going to say that to improve your blood pressure and cholesterol, you have to be active, you have to exercise, you have to count your steps, you have to count your calories. And I know that counting your calories can seem like something super tedious and annoying, but it is so important. Like when I worked at Dunkin' Donuts, people would get like a plain cake donut because they thought that the plain cake donut, because it didn't have any frosting or sprinkles, was like the one with the least amount of calories. And it was actually not, because it was a cake donut. It was really dense. It had about 500 calories. I mean, the donut is this big and it's got 500 calories. That's a whole meal. I would love to drink milkshakes from the Baskin-Robbins section, and a medium milkshake has 800 calories. That's like half the amount of calories that I should be having the whole day in just one drink. You're not realizing that in 2024, we don't have to eat a ton of food in order to be fat. We can just eat the wrong foods, and it's not a large portion, right? A donut like this, is that a big portion to you? No, but if you have a meal and then you have that little donut for dessert, guess what? You just had 1,000 calories easy. And if you do that for every meal, then you had 3,000 calories, and that's equivalent to a 300-pound body. So you smell what I'm stepping on? It's very easy. It's very easy to go over your calories just by eating the wrong things, not by eating large portions of food. I see it all the time. I see people tell me, I don't eat a lot of food, I don't understand why I'm big, I don't understand why I can't lose weight. It's because you're not eating a ton of food. You are correct. You are absolutely correct, but you are eating processed food, food that comes in a box, junk food, fast food, and in these foods you'll find maltodextrin, monosodium glutamate, MSG, in Taco Bell, in McDonald's, and food that comes in a box, and those things spike up your insulin like freaking crazy. And when you spike up your insulin, insulin tells your body not to burn fat. So the more insulin you have running around in your body, the more fat that you're going to store naturally. Alright guys, so that's it for today's video. I hope that you guys can learn a thing or two on how to balance out your blood sugars naturally and how to get benefits like the ones that Ozempic can give you, but in a natural way. If you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, please leave them down below in the comment section. And as always, if you guys want to see more videos of fashion, fitness, and beauty, don't forget to press the red subscribe button and become a honeybee today for free. Give mama a big fat like, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.